getting thoracic extension is not actually that easy in the prone position. But given we're talking about the Cobra, we're going to look at some variations in prone that work specifically on that thoracic extension. Then after that, we'll look at some other variations out of prone that may also help improve the thoracic extension for the Cobra. So let's think a little bit about arm and shoulder position here in prone. I find the easiest way to start to get that chest opening and that very upper thoracic extension is by biasing into a little bit of scapular retraction, elbows up, essentially a row. So if you look at that, that actually looks like a row position. Now a row position is going to open the chest. So if I set up here into my prone position, now remember we've got to block the path of least resistance, which at this point is going to be the lumbar spine. So when I do my setup, I am going to pull the waistband up and squeeze the butt a little bit. And that will be for all my variations. I'm going to work legs apart because it's just a little bit more comfortable. Get that on. And here's now my row position. So pressing the hands down and elbows up. I've drawn the scapula a little bit together. I've retracted them. The neckline is long, and then from here, I can use the help of a bit of handwork to then drive the chest or collarbone open. So I'm using this row, this pull position, this slightly retracted position to help open the chest and drive through the thoracic. So there's my baby Cobra. Now if that's all looking good, if the pathway looks smooth, then maybe a full Cobra starting to fully straighten the elbows. Looking for that nice, smooth line. So chest forward, chest leading, everything else working in relation to how much movement the thoracic spine is creating. Now, a slightly harder arm-shoulder position might be a W shape, because in the W, the scapula are a little bit more towards a protracted position. So there's not as much of that rowing to help open the chest. But it's still a great position to work on if possible. So when I'm here, I think of the elbows sliding down slightly towards the waist and out. Again, a press away from the mat and ascending of the chest forward. Now what we probably wouldn't want to see would be something like this. Pushing up and just an extension in the cervical. So I've got a flexed thoracic and an extended cervical, where what I want is to again drive the chest forward, find thoracic extension, and then let everything follow. And as before, if the range is there, then maybe taking it all the way up by straightening the elbows. So that's another version of the swan or the Cobra, as we're also calling it. One more you might try is a diamond shape of the hands. Elbows again out to the side. Same idea. Push away from your mat and send that chest forward. So the whole idea, lead with the chest. Get that thoracic moving. If that doesn't happen, similarly to the previous exercise, we might see push away around your flexed thoracic, and then compensation from the cervical to create the extension. So that is not the shape. The shape is open the chest, follow through. So in Pilates we call that one often the diamond press, and it is a very small baby Cobra, baby swan. It's really just to activate across the upper back and start to get the feeling of opening up. Now, when you have this seriously kyphotic client or this very, very round-shouldered person, in these prone positions, you're not going to see a lot of thoracic extension. It's just not going to happen. It's a very tricky position to try and get any movement from. So I find a quick and dirty for those people could be to hang them over a raised mat or a raised surface, maybe a reformer box or any kind of box that you might have in your gym. So what you're doing there is you're letting them be in their flexed position, but you're allowing them the space to use their spinal extensors to bring themselves up to at least a neutral line. Now they may not actually get any extension in the thoracic, they may just bring themselves to a neutral, but that is their range. They don't have range into thoracic extension. So here we're biasing them, giving them their kind of flex range that they like to live in, and then forcing them to start to have to work some of their spinal extensor strength to pull out of it towards at least a neutral line. Now, if the hands here are too much, hands can be just pressed into the side of your mat or the side of whatever you're working on. Push down, and again send the chest forward. Send the chest forward. That will also involve the eye line slightly going forward. And that drive of the elbows pushing into the mat will again help, like it did in the previous variations. The first variation here, hands on forehead, is going to be heavier. So you're taking the weight of the arms with you. So essentially I've just come up to a prone hover rather than a cobra, but it's getting me towards that cobra. Now, after any of these prone positions, it's always a good idea just to reverse stretch. So a good old child's pose can be nice, just to release out of that.